Hello, welcome to Irish Football Fan TV. I am delighted to be joined here at Stella Morris, the Dublin Sports Stadium, with Republic of Ireland International, Aine and Shamrock Rovers' new marquee signing. I suppose you're here, and I'm going to make sure I get it right by reading it out here. So we're here for the Aviva Soccer Sisters Easter programme for 2023, and I guess you were the ambassador for that. You were here with a lot of girls earlier on today. What was the atmosphere like, and such an exciting time for women's football?
Yeah, look, it was brilliant. Obviously, it's a great programme this year, and it's a fun, free way for girls to get involved in football, and they're changing up the programme as well. So they're going to educate the coaches and parents around the female athlete as well. And as for the under-13 Stella Maris girls here today, they're great. There's lots of talent on show, and some of them are even showing me up with their skills.
Yeah, because I saw some of the photos and stuff like that, so it looked like everybody was having a great time, and they're all 13, so they're kind of coming into that age, where they're starting to really take it seriously. And obviously there's such an exciting time with the World Cup and everything like that. And I suppose from your own point of view, the Women's National League, I suppose you've been there, you've seen it, and kind of the growth of it now, and it's starting to really kind of gather pace. A lot of Women's National League players are now in the international team, and could well be going to the World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's obviously great that there's professional status on the league this year, and Shamrock Rovers have came in, and we're semi-professional as well, and just trying to raise the standard. I think it's spiced things up, and there's a lot of more interest in the league, and the standard of play is improving.
Yeah, talk to me. I was there that night in Scotland, and I saw the scenes. I was right up behind you, and I could tell by the smile on your face. It was just such an amazing night. But considering you go back to the strike and everything like that, I don't want to dwell on that. But you go back to all that and how things have changed, and how everybody's behind it. And I find myself in the last probably 5-6 years when I'm watching the girls, I'm watching them as much as I'm watching the men, and I'm screaming at the TV if I'm not, more so for away games, but at the home games I'm there, but at the away games you find yourself screaming at the screen as if it's the men's team. So there's a real buzz around this team at the moment, and it's a real likeable team as well, I think you'd have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, give the girls a platform to perform, and look what can happen as well. And look, it's obviously a dream come true for all of us as players, and it's what we've wanted when we put on the green jersey, and it's just so special that now the Irish team will be going to the World Cup.
Yeah, because so many stars on that team, and I suppose Irish football in many ways, for the men's team as well, it's kind of been starved from a bit of, you go back to Robbie Keane and the likes of them as the real kind of star players. But we have star players in our squad now. You look at Katie McCabe and Denise O'Sullivan, probably players that you've watched kind of come in as you've been there,
Yeah, absolutely. Look at like Katie McCabe playing the Champions League with Arsenal, Denise O'Sullivan, captain in North Carolina coverage over in America as well. And look, there's loads more talent coming through as well. And just even chatting to the girls today, I was like, who's your favourite player? They're like you. They're only saying that all they really want to do is go meet Katie McCabe.
Yeah, but there seems to be a really good mixture, because you've got, as I said, you've got Katie in that, then you've got players in the Women's National League. There's a lot of young players, Jessie Stapleton, Abby Larkin and stuff like that, who's recently joined you at Shamrock Rovers. So there is a lot of young players kind of coming through there. And Jessie's here, I know she's injured at the moment, but really exciting players coming through as well, to add to that. It's going to be a real, I suppose, not tough period, but exciting period just before the World Cup to see who makes that final squad. I think a couple of players probably feel sad being missed out, and everyone will be probably trying to be kept in cotton wool.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's going to be a tough job for Vera, I suppose, to pick who's going to go on the plane to Australia. And I don't envy her in that regard, but look, as players, all we can do, look, the younger players are coming through, keeping the likes of myself on my toes, and that's only a good thing, I think, for women's football. And I think full focus for us now is just on preparation and your next training session, your next match, and just being the best you can be.
Yeah, because I think it is a case that sometimes you might even have to just be accommodating. Like I know you've gone to right full a few times, just to accommodate the team and get yourself, in there and playing.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think I obviously came back in after my little spell of retirement as a fullback, and I'm happy to do whatever role I have to do in the team to help the team, and I think anyone will be if that guarantees them a place on the plane.
I think that's the way the Irish teams kind of are. Like I look at the men's senior team, the 21s, the women's team, there's a real kind of collectiveness and togetherness there. There doesn't really seem to be any egos. It's kind of left at the door when you go into camp. Everybody's together, whether who's playing on the pitch, there's a big support for who's playing if you're not playing, you get your chance, and when you get your chance, pretty much take it. That seems to be, from the outside looking in, the way things are there.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and it's obviously a team game and that togetherness, and that's what gets you through the tough moments, I think, in the games, and gets you them little extra percent as well. And obviously, we, as Irish people, we play with a lot of great passion and pride and heart.
Yeah, because I think that, you know, the disappointment of not qualifying just before that, you know, and that seemed to be, I suppose, that disappointment. I think that was what gave us the kind of hunger to
The
go
edge.
on. And, you know, and yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think we probably learned from them pressure moments, and I think that came to fruition. We played Finland in the game in Tala Stadium to reach the playoff, and then went away to play Slovakia. And I think we've grown a lot as a team since then, and stuck together, and that togetherness was what gets you through.
Yeah, talk to me about, I suppose, the move away now from Peamount to Shamrock Rovers. I don't want to be disrespectful in saying it's a kind of up and stand up in terms of facilities and this and that. That's more so what I mean. Really gathered a really good team there. Good players: Alana McAvoy, Stephanie Roach, Abby Larkin, as I mentioned already. There, Savannah McCarthy as well. So a lot of big names have come in there. There seems to be obviously a rival that you've kind of carried with Shelburne, not too far from here. Which seems to be carried into the season. But I think these rivalries are good for, you know, for building the league and building you know, support and rivalries within supporters, not like physical, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think it's kind of spiced things up and gets more outside interest, and I think there's probably a bit more interest in the league this year because of everything that maybe went on in the off-season window, and I think that's a good thing for the league as well. And obviously Peamount is a club that has a big place in my heart, and I've been very successful there. I've done a lot for women's sport, but it was an opportunity I couldn't turn down to go and play with Shamrock Rovers, with the facilities and what they're trying to achieve, and try and improve the standard of the women's game.
I think you've, you know, in you know, so many ways you were a great servant to Peamount anyway, so I don't think you really kind of owed anything to stay there. I don't mean that in a disrespectful term. So I think, you know, you're at that stage now. You want to be playing at as probably a high level as you can to get yourself into the squad. You know, this probably would be the only chance you'll play a World Cup. Excuse me if it's not.
Yeah, no. I'd say so. Yeah, look, obviously you want to do everything we can this year to prepare and to go to the World Cup, and obviously access to full-time training as such. If you want to say at Shamrock Rovers, we can train with the boys, and obviously have our own League of Ireland women's team training sessions as well. So, and we've a home-based training session every week as well. So that's trying to bridge that gap as well. So you could say that we're in full-time football. Yeah,
and look, and I think it's great as well. You got TG Carrick for the game the other day, and LOI TV. There's a space there for people to watch the games. I'm sure your friends and family, you know, really like the fact that they can do it, and probably players, ex-players and stuff like. I spoke to Jamie Finn at one of the international camps. She said she still keeps an eye on the Shells games and stuff like that. So it's brilliant that there's a platform to be able to watch and be able to keep up to date. Yeah,
absolutely. I think exposure is key, isn't it? And even the media coverage is increased, and there's more people covering the games as well. So that only can be a good thing.
Yeah, listen, it's windy, it's cold.
I'm freezing. Thank you.
And
good man, fair play to you.
Yeah. Win the World Cup.
He's not fussed about age. He doesn't care what age you are. He thinks if you're going to help the team the best possible way, he'll play you. Like, he doesn't mind what